Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. It's our 16th episode this school year, and for this one, we'll give you a look at one of the best boys basketball teams in the States before diving into highlights from bowling, wrestling, and hockey. Bennett Academy boys basketball has just one loss this season and hosted undefeated Wheaton Academy on Thursday night. Let's start the show with that highlight. Then we'll see the final DVC matchups of 2024 as Mattia and Naperville North face off in both boys and girls basketball. It's time for a non-conference battle with the 7-1 Bennett Red Wings hosting the 8-0 Wheaton Warriors on Thursday night. Bennett enters coming off a 13-point victory against Hyde Park on Sunday, and Wheaton is coming off a 14-point win over Chicago Hope back on Friday. Wheaton's Tyler Smith starts it off by pacing back and shooting forward on the right side, absorbing the contact for the and one, which he converts at the line. Now on the other end, Blake Fagbemi shows some flashy handles to get away from Jake Weston before dishing it off to Colin Stack, who brings it home. On the ensuing possession, Fagbemi does it himself across the left side, drawing a whistle and connecting at the stripe. After another defensive stop, Mac Doyle finds Daniel Poliokonis down low with a nice baseline pass. Already starting to run away with things, Poliokonis charges inside and misses, but grabs his own rebound, and a nice putback extends the Red Wing lead to 10. Jaden Wright rounds out the first quarter with this nice steal before connecting with Fagbemi for the bucket. After 8 minutes, Bennett leads 19-8. The Warriors try to claw back into it with Smith leading the charge early in the second. A smooth spin move through two defenders leads to an easy bucket. The next time down the court, they keep feeding him. The pull-up jumper from the elbow is true. Fagbemi, however, has seen enough, denying the next shot from Smith with a forceful block. Adding to their lead, Bennett finds Doyle, who gets the layup and the whistle, where he'd net the free throw. A few possessions later, Poliokonis laces the catch-and-shoot three on the left wing to make it 27-12 with 2 minutes until halftime. Back on offense, it's deja vu for Doyle, who again drives inside and draws contact, completing the and one. 10 seconds until halftime, Bennett draws up the three-ball look for Poliokonis, who swirls it from the right wing to go up 38-17 at the break. Into the third, the Warriors' Sam Thomas responds with a three of his own after a good pass from Griffin Schlembecker. The crowd gets up for this one, and so does Stack, who delivers it through with a forceful slam after a solid feed from Wright. On the other end, he shifts his feet and rejects Hayden Schroeder's offering, forcing the turnover. Rounding out the third, Aiden Reneker is all cords with his first bucket of the contest. 1 quarter remaining, the Red Wings are up big, 56-25. Reneker leads the reserves with another three early in the fourth to put the cherry on top before some solid defense down the stretch easily locks up the win for Bennett. The Red Wings move to 8-1 after a statement 64-39 win, handing the Warriors their first loss of the season. Bennett is back in action against Antioch at home on Saturday afternoon.
Winter break means plenty of basketball, but before we get to the tournaments, Mattia Valley and Naperville North clash in a conference matchup on Friday night. The team split their 2 games last year in close games, but neither wants to add a second conference loss to their resume this year before we get into 2025. Tied 2-2 early, Khalil Jones drives and dishes to Trey Watkins, who finishes through a foul for an and one to take the lead. Here's Miles O'Kine driving, stopping, and stepping through for the layup to get one back for North. Carson Laughlin steals Watkins' pass, and the junior cuts loose as he blows by the Mattia defender to put the Huskies up 10-6 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Watkins is determined to get one back though as he deflects the pass, and Dominic Smith scoops it up, passes it back to Watkins, and the junior slides by O'Kine to tie things at 10. On to the second quarter now. Jones finds Watkins in transition, but he misses. No problem though as Connor Lavery cleans it up to take the lead back. Working out of the half court, Watkins dishes to Sam Candela, who hits the first three-pointer for either team. Mattia leads 20-14. It started a trend though, as Watkins hits from deep to extend the lead to 7. Continuing the run, Watkins dives for a loose ball and Jones is out and running. A slick behind the back move lets him slip past the first defender as he rises for a baseline floater. North call timeout as the Mustangs storm to a 27-18 lead. Here's Watkins continuing the rally with a layup in traffic to close the half. And after a stalemate first quarter, Mattia outscored North 23-8 in the second to take a commanding 33-18 lead into halftime. Watkins and Jones combined for 17 points for the Mustangs. Miles O'Kine starts the second half for North. He can't find an open man, so he turns around and nails a shot. He featured a lot in the offense with 17 points on the night. Jones is hounding O'Kine on defense and the ball ends up loose. Tyler Miller throws it down court and Mattia scores off another turnover to go up 36-20 halfway through the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, O'Kine takes it himself, slinking past the Mattia defenders to cut the deficit to 9 with 3 minutes to go. Mattia have to respond on the inbound, and it's Dominic Smith who scores with a foul to extend the lead back to 11. It really was an all-around game for the Mustangs as they work it to Smith again for another and one late in the fourth quarter. Mattia go on to win 59-43 and improve to 2-1 in conference play.
Naperville North and Mattia Valley meet in a DVC matchup in Husky territory. The Huskies look for a victory tonight after falling to Naperville Central on a buzzer beater. Mattia comes in after a 13-point loss to Neuqua Valley. As we tip off, it's Mattia's Kelly Klish with a 2 from down low after the assist from Srihi Dugirala. On the other end, Natalie Frempong assists Anna Richards with a 3-ball to keep the Huskies ahead. Richards is heating up as Frempong finds her in the corner and she connects for another 3-pointer. Mattia Valley wants in on the 3-point party as Ariana Hammonds buries one from beyond the arc. The Mustangs work the ball around the horn and get it inside to Klish. Some fancy footwork gets her open and she converts from the left block. Klish leads all Mustang scorers on the night with 15. Richards would respond with once again another 3-pointer. She's on fire to begin the game for North, and the Huskies lead 18-13 after the first. As the second quarter gets underway, it remains all Huskies from here on out on both ends of the court. Frempong finds her way down for the contested shot for the first points of the second quarter. Her teammate Sydney Smith steals one from the Mustangs and heads the other way. Smith lays in the contested shot, and the Huskies would go up 30-20 at half. North starts off where they left off as Frempong finds the first points of the half with a nice fast break score. Mattia responds with their first points of the second half, a jump shot by Annie Burke. Mattia is still behind by double digits. To kick off the fourth, it would be none other than Frempong shooting a 3-pointer and getting the shooter's roll to drop. Hammonds and Peyton Giannoni put on the pressure and force a steal. Giannoni gets the layup to drop, however Mattia falls short of the Huskies. Naperville North takes it 58-44 for their first DVC win this season. From 2018 to 2022, Naperville North girls basketball was among the area's best teams, and Greta Kampschroeder played a large part in that. The McDonald's All-American is now a senior and starter for ranked Michigan and has played against some NCAA legends. We'll have more on Kampschroeder after the break.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
2 dealerships, side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? the experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Get 0% APR financing on most new Lincoln models this month at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville, where the dealership experience makes the difference.
Greta Kampschroeder was one of the best recruits in the nation coming out of the Naperville North girls basketball program. The Naperville native is now a senior and starter for ranked Michigan and competes in one of the best conferences in the nation. We have more on Kampschroeder in our latest Where Are They Now, sponsored by Gross Sports Psychology. Women's college basketball has become one of the most watched sports in the country, and Naperville North alum Greta Kampschroeder has been in the middle of it all. The University of Michigan senior has played in multiple top 25 matchups and has gone head-to-head with some of the best to ever play in the NCAA.
I absolutely love it. It's so fun. I think when you're younger, you kind of dream of having those big games and those big matchups.
Since her freshman year in 2021, Kampschroeder has played against NCAA greats like Caitlin Clark and Cameron Brink.
Even going back to last year, we played Iowa and Caitlin Clark when she broke the scoring record. She broke it against us, and you're kind of like, man, like you're wanting to stop this girl from scoring, but at the same time, it was kind of a surreal moment.
Kampschroeder has been a factor in some big-time wins, including Michigan beating 6th-ranked North Carolina her sophomore season. On Friday, December 20th, she scored a career-high 23 points against Akron on an impressive 9 of 16 shooting, including 5 of 9 from three-point range. At Naperville North, she was one of the best players in the country and was named to the McDonald's All-American team. She began her collegiate career starting at the wing for Oregon State and often defended the opposing team's best player. After starting nearly every game, the Naperville native transferred and found her new home at the University of Michigan. She had to adapt to a new system and redefine her role to help the team.
I think growing up, I was lucky enough to have coaches that kind of put me in a lot of different positions to become more of a versatile player, so that once I did get to the collegiate level, I was ready to step into whatever role was needed on my team.
A sharpshooter since high school, Kampschroeder's role as a sophomore and junior at Michigan mostly came from off the bench and at the guard position. Last season, she connected on 38% of her threes, second best for the Wolverines. Kampschroeder has started every game this season and continues to play as a guard, but finds herself in yet another new role after multiple Wolverine forwards graduated last spring.
I'm still playing as a guard, but at the same time, I'm having to guard the 5, I'm having to rim run, and all of that. And I found that I can have an advantage in some certain ways in that aspect. So,
night in and night out, the Naperville native is playing against the best talent in the country. 3 former Bennett Red Wings have faced Kampschroeder in the Big Ten, including Brooke Sharamick for Wisconsin and Kendall Moriarty for Nebraska. She has also played against her friend and former travel teammate Lene Beaumont, who is now at Indiana. Once she graduates, the Wolverine will look to play at the next level.
Right now, the goal is to play basketball professionally. I would love to try and go overseas and play. A lot of women's players go overseas.
After her final dribble, Kampschroeder will be looking for a career in the sports world.
I'm studying sport management right now, so there's a lot of different avenues you can go with sport management, but I love data analytics and I would love to work for a professional sports team.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy. Let's keep it moving, as after the break, we'll get our first look at the Bennett Academy hockey team. Then we'll check in on our boys bowling teams.
I support NCTV 17. Naperville's a unique city with lots of diversity and lots of different things going on, and NCTV is always there to tell a story.
We have such a caring, kind, wonderful group of people that live here, and there's amazing stories to tell. NCTV digs in and shares those stories.
The stories that NCTV brings to the community is important because it ties everyone together and it makes a larger city feel like a smaller town.
On Saturday night, the Bennett Academy Red Wings honored former hockey player, club director, and head coach John Gersbeck at Seven Bridges Ice Arena as the Red Wings host the Providence Catholic Celtics in a CCHL matchup. The Red Wings are on a roll this season with 12 wins and 0 losses in conference, while the Celtics are in 6th and hold a 7-6 record. Bennett defeated Providence 6-2 back in October. We drop the puck here at center ice as these two rivals do battle. Only 25 seconds into the game, Providence strikes first as Nicholas Kovini scores as he's falling down to put the Celtics in front early in the first period. Later in the first period, the Celtics look to add another goal. Kovini takes a shot, but Bennett Academy goalie Joel Cohn makes a big save here to keep this a 1-goal game. Gianluca Di Cosola goes backhand with the shot, and Joseph Ide pounces on the rebound and goes top shelf for the score. We're all tied at 1. Hudson Schley looks to make something happen, and he does as he delivers a nice pass to Thomas Dusick, and he buries it to give the Red Wings a 2-1 lead as we close out the second period. We go to the third period, and the Celtics keep pushing for the tying goal. Kovini finds Andrew Rodriguez, and he taps it into the back of the nets. The game is now tied at 2. We now go to the other end of the ice, and this time the Red Wings respond with a goal of their own. Di Cosola sets up Carson Stone, and he rips the shot into the nets. Bennett Academy is back in front 3-2. John Mendoza Jr. tries to set up Kovini for the shot here, but Cohn shows off the glove for the save. Under 5 minutes to go as the green and white have control of the puck. It's a battle behind the net, and Mendoza Jr. scores for Providence Catholic to tie it up. But the referee waves off the goal as the net is dislodged before the puck crosses the line. Under a minute to go as the Celtics try to tie this one up late. Kovini rips a shot, and on the rebound, John Cardwell shoots, but hits the post. Cohn covers it up for the Red Wings. Bennett hangs on to win and defeats Providence Catholic for the second time this season. The Red Wings extend their conference winning streak to 13 to begin the year.
Coming off an epic comeback to win the LaSalle Peru tournament, Naperville Central Boys Bowling returns home for take 2 of crosstown action against Naperville North. The Huskies enter after an impressive top 10 showing at the Andrew Invitational and are looking to gain momentum as the season goes along, while Central looks to sweep DVC matches for the 4th straight year. Tommy Creighton-Poth gets things rolling early on for the Redhawks with a strike perfectly in the pocket. He gets the crowd hyped early with a 2:16 Game 1 score. On the next lane over is Nate Taverna coming off a historic tournament on Saturday, who matches Creighton-Poth with a similar strike. He ends the day with a 6-10 series. Moving over to the Huskies with Andy Sullivan, who goes Brooklyn with this shot, but a rolling pin is able to push down the 5-pin for the strike as he ends Game 1 with a 167. Moving up to varsity for Central is Jason Henriksen, who also goes Brooklyn but explodes the pins out of view for the strike. A bit later, Henriksen faces a tricky 2-7-8 split spare, but he fires a rocket at the 2 and 8 pins which bounce back and take down the 7 pin. Henriksen starts his day with a 152 in Game 1. The Huskies keep pace as Nathan Mulligan throws the ball like a boomerang as it makes its way back to pocket for the strike as part of a 162 in Game 2. On the same pair is teammate Anderson Karkinen, whose slow roll knocks down the pins like Jenga towers as he gets a 115 in Game 3. Central responds with DJ Benton, who goes light in pocket on this shot, but is able to sweep down the pins for another strike, as he finishes his match with a 406 series. Braden Swanson gets the momentum going as this shot is perfectly on target to begin a turkey for the Husky in Game 2. He ends that game with a 144. Back in the lineup for Central is Spencer Pierpoint, who quickly makes up for lost time. The lefty two-hander has corner pin swag on this shot, which tips down the 7 pin. He gets the salutations from his teammates, ending the day with a 589 series. Junior Josh Newcomb has another stellar outing for the Redhawks, as he rolls this one dead center in the pocket and shakes off the rust heading back to the sidelines. Later, Newcomb does more of the same and salutes the fans watching, ending the day with a 604 series. Max Alexandrov picks up where he left off last time as he blows up the pins like dynamite on lane 14 for the strike. On the same pair a bit later, he is again on target with another strike, ending the day with a 440 series. But leading the day for the Huskies is his brother Nick, who collects a 1-2-8 spare shot in Game 2 to get him going. A few frames later, Alexandrov goes Brooklyn but clears the pins off the map for another strike, finishing the evening with a 5-16 series. But the name on top of the scoreboard once again for varsity is Tommy Kradenpoth, who rolls another strike down in Game 3 and returns to the sidelines to the approval of his teammates. Kradenpoth ends the day with a 6:45 series as Naperville Central sweeps the season against Naperville North and the DVC for the 4th consecutive year. The Red Hawks move to 13-1 on the season with a 646 pin win.
Bennett Academy boys basketball hosted Wheaton Academy, where Colin Stack gets up for a dunk against the Warriors. With about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the Red Wings lead Wheaton 51-25 and bring the ball across half court. The Red Wings center sets a screen and draws up a mismatch as Stack attacks the rack with a big-time slam. Let's take one more look at the play. It's a great pass from Jaden Wright, who puts it right on the money to the Bennett big. Let's wrap up the show after the break with some wrestling action as Naperville North traveled to Metea Valley and Naperville Central took on DeKalb.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to interest rates, it seems the Fed only knows one direction, up. That's not fair. If you're fed up with high rates, head over to Fair Oaks Ford. You can get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months. Now that's fair. Plus, you'll get what J.D. Power called the best customer experience in the business. Fair Oaks Ford on Ogden Avenue in Naperville. You've got a friend in the car business. Shop online 24/7 at fairoaksford.com.
We hit the wrestling mats at the Crow's Nest in DeKalb in a battle of the last 2 DVC champions wrestling it out. Naperville Central grapples its way out west, riding a 2-0 record in the conference, as they get set to take on the Barbs, who look to pick up their second conference win of the season. The second match of the night shows Nick Olvera getting a double leg takedown on Preston Gel. Olvera begins his drive by turning Gel on his back, and wins the 165-pound match by pin to give Central a 6-3 lead. At 190, Paul Paradotti escapes Eric Rivas and quickly takes him down on the mat for 3 points. Paradotti rolls and locks down Rivas and pins him to cap off 3 straight matches decided by a pin for the Red Hawks, and they are up 18-3. Though the Barbs get a quick pin with Nick Waddle at 2:15 over Nathan Gandhi to keep them within striking distance. Will Urbeck responds in the heavyweight bout as he gets an 11-5 decision over Jeremiah Pinheira. Jack Fitzgerald starts the 106-pound match by bringing down Jaden Bradley for a fast 3-0 lead. Later on, Bradley flips the script and takes complete control, winning by tech fall over Fitzgerald. To 113, where the other Jack Schwartz, sprawls and gets on top of Julian Hartwig for some early momentum. That changes quickly because Hartwig turns the table and pins Schwartz to fire up the crowd because the Barbs now trail 21-20. In the 120 bout, Jake Moore cools off the Barbs with the WWE-style throwdown on Daniel Sandoval. Moore shows no mercy, racking up more points, and wins the match via tech fall. Moving over to 138 with Vince Byrne wrestling Grady Fowler. Byrne takes note from his teammate Moore and also wins his match by tech fall, which puts the meat out of reach. CJ Bierman caps off the night with a pin on Murdoch Hernandez at 150 pounds, and that secures a 44-26 win for the Redhawks to improve to 3-0 in the DVC. Metea Valley hosts Naperville North in tonight's DVC showdown on the mats. Both teams are looking to get ahead in the standings as the winter break approaches. We start off in the 150-pound weight class between Zach Malley lining up against Lucas Lee. During the match, Malley gets the takedown on Lee and begins to work on the pin. Malley can't get the pin on Lee, but is able to rack up the points and take the victory by tech fall. Moving on to the 157-pound weight class between Timothy Garman and Lucas Marsu. Marsu lifts Garman off his feet, getting the quick 3 points for the takedown. However, Garman turns it around and also wins his match by tech fall. At 165, JT Hill for North wrestles against Jackson Wasan for Metea, and Hill holds his opponent down for the fall. Mustang Bodan Pastoranu and Husky Brady Valle go at it at 190. Pastoranu wraps his arms around Valle and takes him down for 3 points. As the match goes down to the wire, Pastoranu flips Valle while getting in position for the takedown, and that wins the match. Overall, Naperville North comes out victorious 68-3.
This week's Girls Play of the Week comes from Natalie Frempong of Naperville North Basketball. The junior guard showed off her playmaking and scoring ability from all over the court against Metea, and this play here is the best. Frempong waits to attack her defender and quickly dashes out to the left. The Husky Euro steps between two Mustangs before finishing over another one at the rim. Let's slow this one down and have another look. Frempong continues to be a vital player for Naperville North, and they took down Metea in this game for DVC win number 1. And that wraps up our final show of 2024. With the holidays upon us and the prep sports calendar slowing down, we will not have a new episode over the next 2 weeks, but we will return on Monday, January 13th. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and we'll see you again next year.